No, oh hello my sweet, so won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grim dark distillery. And if you want bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh unbinary world magnificent welcomes you. Hello my sweets. Man, hey, you know what I forgot to do? What I literally was trying to do this whole time. Uh, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna do that right now. I'm so sorry. I'm tired. But I'm really excited because we're going to do some work on grief today. Everybody loves grief. He's awful. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Nothing like hearing myself say man, oh man as soon as I open that. Okay. Link. Bam. Done. And we're going to definitely go with some Polyphia because I'm vibing on that today. There we go. Good morning, Possum. How are you, my sweet? I got some actual sleep last night, so I am excited. And we've got a special guest, Theodore. He's here, hanging out in the baby chair. Theo in the baby chair. Getting cray over here. He's been screaming all morning. He says, Dad, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. And I'm just like, son, I'm working. That's not fun. I am sorry to hear that, my friend. That's awful. Did not get actual sleep last night. I got a good amount. I woke up and came down and started working on a certain somebody's commission, and I'm really, really, really pumped about it. One of, if not the most fun I've had making anything. It's definitely easily one of my favorite models I've ever made. I'm really, really, really loving it. Having a lot of fun. There's something, I was telling Kelly about this. It's wonderful being able to like do commissions just for itself, but having people that love my art enough that they have thought of things in their head that they want to see in my style, and then me being able to like make it is just it's really, really wonderful. It's something I've not really ever gotten to experience before, like my skills being appreciated for what they are. And it just means a lot. So I'm having a blast. We got to make a chest cavity today. Yeah, this morning I've moved on to the first round of sculpting. So typically, I've got a couple of rounds. I typically, when I make the body, that's where I combine all the parts. Gonna make a nice little square here. Let's explain what I'm doing. This is for a chest cavity. I don't want it to be too thin. I want it to be nice and thick enough that when I put it on there, it will retain its shape. So it's going to be very important for all the things that come next. But yeah, so combine. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, pretty much got the base of the model kind of thrown together. Now I'm going in and green stuffing all the spots. And then once that's done, then it'll be back to hyper detailing. And then finally we go into green stuffing to fix any seams, gaps, that kind of stuff. But I'm having an absolute blast with it. It's so fun. Such a fun piece. Now as for you, Mr. Grief, are you a fun piece? Fun piece of foil, am I right? That's good. Yeah. Oh, grief. Oh, good grief. You get some little metal snips here. Just gonna cut that so I can get a little bit more a release of tension in there. And I'm going to probably do the same thing up here. And by doing that, it allows me to pull it a little bit further than it was supposed to go, and then it rips. Fuck yeah. All right, change of plans. This piece, going at the top of the chest, off the top of the dome. If my super glue will cooperate today. Alrighty, so yeah, that's how it was. Right there. Definitely want to make sure that the collarbones are very prominent. That's a very key part, I think, of making things really grisly. Just to show the little bones and whatnot underneath. So that's it adds a little bit more visible, like mementos. That's a very, very key part of, like, I think, design language of humans. It's collarbones. You see that and you're like, I have one of those. It makes you relate to it. Everything's got arms unless it's only got legs, though, like horses. But technically, I think their arms are closer to like digits as far as the bones and whatnot in comparison to a human. Anywho, where I'm getting at with that is it's trying to make sure that things that are very key to when you think of something, you're trying to upset people. I think the easiest way, this is the best way to explain it. If you're trying to upset people with your art, or to evoke something spoopy, the best way to do that is by putting things in it that people can easily identify, and it gets stuck in their head of what that is. Because once you put that little seed in there, then you can start to make the beautiful plant that you want it to be. By warping and twisting that image that you've conveyed in their mind. That's pretty much the main goal with most of my demons, is you gotta find something primally core to our species, and go from there. And then combine it all. Once you've combined it all, that's good. That is really good. Come on. Get a little of that super glue on my fingies. That's what I like. I don't like that. I really don't like it when I can feel the heat. And I'm like, chemical reactions. I feel it. That's not good. Get my little hands out of there. Let's give this a spritz and hope for the best. I know I'm gonna have to go in and wrap it with wire to get things to stick, but man, I really wish this super glue would work with me a little bit more. We're gonna have to get some more dip kicker today. That's for damn sure. This other stuff, while it does work, it does not do it as quick. I need all the precious seconds I have. Okay. Mix around in there. And a little overspray. Yeah, so this is hollow. So we're going to be hollowing that out, but we need to get some clay on it before we can start making it look really awful. Hey, of course you glue the top shot, not the glue that I'm eating. You on there? It might be. It might be on there. Oh boy, which means we can move on to wire wrapping. His butt's really flat. It's gonna be flat, but we gotta add the pelvic bones. That's, I guess, showing the bones. Good bones really help sell a thing. So it's very key for my kind of stuff that you can kind of see that. At least for this one. That's going to really sell, I think, a good chunk of why it's horrifying. Some. I cannot wait to work on this thing's face. It's going to be so good. Also, shout out to the guy or the person on Reddit that after I posted frustration, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine a more upsetting demon. And I was like, oh, okay, hold on just a second. Let me get a picture of the Paramore. What about this one? And they're like, oh my gosh, that's awful. Well, I think they're the correct statement was Jim Henson's ghost. What the hell is that? And it's just like, oh, you know, I love the Jim Henson. Sorry, Marco. Tim. I love both. Only one. There's only one. Key reminder, Jim Henson and Tim Henson are the same individual in Margot the Lore. She does not realize that they are two different people. One made the Muppets, the other makes sick-ass roofs. Yeah. Oh, grief. Oh, shit. There's so much super glue all over this fucking table. Shit. Get on there. That's awful. That's a large amount of super glue. Oh, God, because it's leaking out of this. Shitty super glue. Get on here. Pro tip, use your fingers. Terrible pro tip. Don't use that. But I don't want it to dry. It's going to dry super quick. A good old Kentucky air. The worst thing about working in a basement is working in a basement. It's also the best thing. Alrighty, I'm happy with that. It's going to stick. Well, I've succeeded in getting my fingers covered in super glue. That's step one. Step one, cover yourself in super glue. I'm getting hot also, so this is going to pop off. Theodore, would you like to handle the mic? He's mad. He's mad. Would you like a hoodie? Here you go. A little blankie hoodie. Hoodie blankie. Maybe. I'm sorry to hear you did not sleep well. That is awful, though. After not getting any sleep the night before. I know how that vibe goes. Snip. Snip, snip. And now we wrap your body up. You silly little grief. Convioing. Reblend. It's about to be done here in a little bit, but I'll mess with that after. Hey, it's okay. They got me working on power equipment today. Oh, nice. Man, I've had some fun times on some power equipment. One of which involved a very large stack of Xbox 360, I think it was 360s, and a very, very, very large lifter called Big Joe. Yeah, a lot of Xboxes did not get to be sold that day. What happens when a couple thousand-pound like hydraulic lift just goes down and just sits on them? Makes a very loud crunch. I'm not a fan of this bottle of super glue. It is just leaking everywhere. Come on. Seriously, bro? Dude, stop it. Come on. I'm not excited about how much super glue is just pouring out of that tube. Oh well, what can you do? Don't use crying over spilled super glue, eh? So let's look at a skeleton real quick. We're gonna need a skelly. Here's a skelly. So they got big old hips. That's key. That's key. Got some hips. So they need to go up a little bit. Make it a little like a U. Yeah. So we want the skin to essentially, it's going to look like his legs are absolutely no muscle at all. Just bones and skin and like varicose veins. Bones, skin, and varicose veins. The new album. King Piss. King Piss albums would not be named like that. They'd be more named like things like Margot's Suspiciously Inconspicuous Antique Shop and like Booty Like the Aggro Crag, stuff like that. Anywho, Creep'em, how you doing? 2 minutes? Damn, girl. You've been cooking all day. I'm coming back. Sorry. Okay, so aluminum foil. Gotta get some little hip. There's a hole in this bag, Theodore. Just Dad, you're dropping stuff. Good morning. That'd be Fuon. 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 Foon. That'd be Foon. Good morning. Welcome. Okay. Just wiping up that little bit of super glue that's spilt on the ground like a trash boy. I'm wiping it up like a trash boy. Super glue's not a trash boy. It's a disappointing boy. I'm very disappointed in the amount of super glue that you're just pouring all over my desk. That's what happens when you buy like the absolute cheapest super glue that you can. And it is what it is, you know. I buy it in bulk. I use a lot of super glue. Oh no. Somebody's a little top heavy. It's you. Grief. God, you are wonderfully awful. I don't know what you're doing, but it sure looks cool as hell. Thank you. I am working on a demon, a very large demon from my god, the chaos or the child inverted, the chaos inverted. It's normality. Child inverted. This is the exiled jester princeling. Grief. All of my demons are based on pretty much they're pulled out of my brain and twisted and altered, like things that I love, things that I dislike. I tried to make all of them are very, very, very heavily metaphorical, and supposed to be almost takes on like pure emotion and whatnot in given form. I absolutely love and recommend to anyone who likes Warhammer the Black Legion books by Aaron Dembski Bowden. They are definitely my favorites, but they are definitely the first books that I think made demons in the lore what they should be. They're not all the same. In fact, none of them are identical, all very individual. And I think, I don't know, I've always loved that. That's all how I've always imagined them. And yeah, last year I decided to start making some of my own. Dude, come on, quit just leaking super glue everywhere as soon as you get touched, or don't get touched. What are you doing? yeah, it's very therapeutic, but also I think had very good results. I'm just gonna wipe that super glue on my hand because they're already covered in super glue at this point. Alrighty, so now it's time for epoxy sculpt, I think. I might put a little bit, one more little boop. One more boop on the pelvic area. So I want those hip bones to kind of stick out. Man, he is going to be absolutely upsetting. Alrighty, it's time for some epoxy sculpt. Yeah, I'm not messing with the neck yet because I'm going to definitely pop that head off when I sculpt. YouTube algorithm is crazy because I just finished my first mini painting today. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Well, congratulations, my friend. That's a very big step. First steps on the road to madness. Yeah, I won't be doing any painting here today, but I'm not sure. So the moment that I pretty much was just like, hey, I'm going to be making grief and I don't want it in my house. So I think it'll be the first one that I put up for sale within 10 minutes. Before anyone saw what it was going to look like, they said we would be interested in buying that. And I was just like, okay, hell yeah. So I need to check to see if they are wanting him completely finished, like painted, or if they would like to do the painting themselves. But I'm pretty much showing the process of how I made these horrible things. What am I doing? That is nowhere near a mouth epoxy sculpt. I've been also I need some gloves on. I have been working on commissions this morning, and I've just been dabbling with small amounts of epoxy sculpt and green stuff. Shout out to my boy Forrest for showing me how to get my hands in a glove. Normally, you gotta blow it up like a clown balloon. I would have never thought of that. These are dirty, or I would then use it to pet Theodore to show that it's like, now I'm sterile. I got clean gloves on. These aren't clean. I would never pet my son with dirty hands. He's just hanging out. That's a good amount. Now that is a good amount of epoxy sculpt. Shout out to epoxy sculpt. Oh boy, gonna have to get some water on these gloves. Fair warning if you are joining for the first time. There's just apparently a lot of ASMR in this. I found out a lot of people like the sounds of jars closing and aluminum foil crinkling and rolling of clay. I get it. It's good sounds, good vibes. Not intentional though. I'm just doing the thing. Be really weird if I was just doing this intentionally. That would be the weirdest ASMR channel ever. I need to be the change I want to see in the world. It's like purely ASMR channel, and all it is just me rolling up clay. I don't ever make anything. Someone's gonna edit something. Might be me. Put together an ASMR video of my streams, just rolling stuff, clay, cutting things. Alrighty, time for some epoxy sculpt. Let's put it on your chest first. This needs to be pulled tighter. That needs to be held down. Grab some needle nose. I'm gonna pull that as tight as I can. Yeah, there we go. I'm definitely going to do better today about just rambling, but I'm going to just work this clay into shapes that I'm wanting to get. Just trying to make a nice, very bony upper body. I'm going to go in, add the collarbones and whatnot, really define them in epoxy green because I want the detail. Typically I just use epoxy sculpt, just pure epoxy sculpt for the first layer after an armature or for filling. Filling that I like to do with clay versus aluminum foil or other filler, what have you. I will use epoxy sculpt. Your head might weigh a little bit too much, my friend, so we'll pop that off while I'm doing this so it doesn't move on me. I'm very happy with how the head turned out. It's very much supposed to be reminiscent of a jester's cap. It will have bells tied around it, but those horns are a visual cue and tie in to the child inverted, as well as other members of its harem and court. This guy's hollow, so we gotta put our finger in there when we run this down. He's gonna have some real good creepy ribs too, you know it. Your boy's gotta have some ribs. Just dragging himself along. So silly, always telling jokes, grief. I'm really looking forward to getting to work on the face. That's always my favorite part. We're going to save that for last, though. Or at least until I've got the body defined very well. The hands and the feet I'm going to have to do once it's mounted on the base, because they are going to be dug into the ground. And I want to make sure that I get a very realistic look to that. Yeah, that chest is going to be very good for putting some collarbones on. We're going to need more epoxy sculpt. Damn, this guy's going to take a lot. But that's all good. We got a lot. So let's go ahead and just make a shit ton. Big old blob. That might be too much. Half that. We'll do half that. So what did I do yesterday? Started Blasphemous 2. It's going well. I picked the big hammer flail thing, sensor. I've not beaten Blasphemous 2. I've only gotten a little bit far into it. Not even to the first dude you gotta supposedly kill 3 of. I loved Blasphemous, the first one though. Played it a whole bunch. Really wish I had been able to snag up one of those art books, because I absolutely love art books, concept art, and that one's, the concept art for that game is just so sick. It's very grimdark vibes. If you're looking for any recommendations on concept art books that I would personally recommend, literally anything from FromSoft is #1 on the list. Especially the Bloodborne one. I'm very biased. It's my favorite game, but it's my favorite game for a very specific reason. It's grief is the saddest. Fuck, that's good, Possum. Grief is the saddest clown. You're right. I hadn't even thought about that. Um, so yeah, my old band Fern Teeth, our EP was called Plateau Don't Plummet, which it's still musically it's as far as like a full. This is an idea. It's the one I'm most proud of. I don't think that the full length is good. I don't enjoy it as much because it's very much. I can tell I had a lot of stuff not well in my head when I was working on it, and I think that shows. And while it does make for good music, I personally don't enjoy it. Plateau Don't Plummet though. Bloodborne Remastered 2026 Trust. Don't get my hopes up. I would love a remaster. That's my favorite game. Man, I remember I platinumed that on my birthday one year, a couple of years back, and still every single time someone in the community is just like, "Man, I'm getting ready to start Bloodborne." I'm like, "Hey, if you want to play Bloodborne, you can just hit me up. I mean, you just hit me up. You can hit me up if you wanted to go like into some tombs and like do some prospecting. I mean, I'm down. At any time. I love Bloodborne. It's so good. I still need to beat Sekiro. I'm pretty much I got to where I get in most FromSoft games. Where I get fucked over is that I make it to like, oh yeah, it's the final boss. But since you spend a lot of time, that other like secret final boss is over here. And if you don't beat him first before you beat the final boss, then you start over again. And of course, you know, in Bloodborne, that would be like the Orphan of Kaz, which, holy Christ, is one of the roughest bosses I've ever played against. But man, I do not like to do anything to put odds in my favor. So if there's like a glitch or anything like that, it's like, no. I'm going to do it the way that Miyazaki wanted me to. Because, man, I am absolutely the kind of person that is just grown into, I want life to be hard for me so I can overcome it and get all the dopamine. But, yeah. I'm trying to remember, is it the Something of Rage? I don't want to spoil alert for anyone, but Sekiro's so good. I love that story. Bloodborne's my favorite though. Bloodborne it was the first FromSoft game that I ever played, and I started to play it after, I can't remember, I believe it was Monster Factory. The first Monster Factory that they did was shortly after I started my first playthrough of Bloodborne. But having never played a FromSoft game, it's always so funny, hearing people talk like, man, and blah blah blah. Like my buddy Sam, I was like, dude, one time while he was watching my house and my cats while we were out of town, I was like, while you're there, you should just play Bloodborne. And he was just like, I will. And he was like, man, gosh, it's so hard to get through Yarnum, Central Yarnum. And I remember it's just like, yeah, I remember at one point in time it took me like 2 hours to get to the cleric beast, like on my first couple of first couple of attempts. It's just like hours, and it's just like, I don't understand what kind of game this is. They're just an utterly different kind of game. But the main reason that I love them is the storytelling. It changed how I looked at storytelling, because it absolutely, it takes a stance of, I don't care if you get the story or not. Like, the story's there and it happens. It's very, I mean, it's absolutely old school in its design. Just the amount of things that like are secrets and whatnot, that if you don't discover them, you won't. They don't shove the story down your throat. And finding a game that it's just like, not only do they not shove the story down your throat, but you won't understand a lot of leaps in what's going on in the world's like lore if you don't actively look at things. And that's just very, very, very rewarding for someone like me. But yeah, the amount of lore on little item things that kind of add together as you acquire things throughout the game, so you slowly start to get a better understanding. It actually makes you learn the lore. It doesn't tell you the lore, it makes you learn it. And that's what I appreciate. And that is what a lot of my stories that I like to tell, they put, I think they empower the reader or the player. The subtle storytelling through items is such a good way to world build. It really is. It's just so, I mean, pebbles, the pebbles, like when you first like look at them, and I think they make a mention that it's just like, they kind of look like eyes. It's just like, why is that important? And later on in the game, you find out that's very important. Like all these giant crows and stuff. I don't know. There's just so much good storytelling, imagery, symbolism, and then also, of course, Bloodborne's aesthetic is just everything I want, like summarized in one thing. And then the characters, ooh, they're so good. I love some real sad Lovecraftian horror. Also, Lady Maria is my absolute favorite boss I've ever encountered in a game. That was the funnest boss fight ever for me. Not only it's like I already love that character. The doll was one of my absolute favorite concepts, and the horror. For those of you, spoiler alert, but the game's been out for so long, so I'm just going to talk about it. Most redneck stream I saw in a year. Cute. Redneck stream? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Different. It's a different kind. Good morning, Max. Welcome. Welcome. Working on a big old demon named Grief. He's funny. Always telling jokes, that Grief. Oh boy. Man, I was talking about Bloodborne. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the doll. Yeah, the doll. When you find the actual workshop that the dream is based off of, you find the doll that Gurman made, and it's just like, oh man. I think a lot of people take that in like, oh, he fucks the doll. It's just like, that's not what he's getting at. He loved Maria, and he made a doll because he went insane. And out of loneliness, made a doll as a companion. And wasn't until, right now it looks like that alien they found in Mexico, lol. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the same vibe for like partially where I'm going with it. I really want it, like the key part is it's going to be very, very, very emaciated. You're going to like, that guy has never eaten ever. But yeah, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a very upsetting looking thing, and very big. Very big. I have to print a base for him because he will not fit on anything smaller than... Yeah, I mean, technically he would fit on, I think that's a knight. I think that's a knight base, 120 millimeter round. I think so. But that doesn't look right to me. So definitely, well, I don't know. No, I think he needs to be on the bigger base. Yeah, once I get some epoxy sculpt on those piggies, they're gonna get glued together, nailed. But yeah, at one point in time, the thing I was making for Tim was the most blasphemous thing I've ever made. Sorry, Tim. This is going to be. I gotta get more water on these gloves. Where the hell did my water go? Oh, it's right here. Oh, epoxy sculpt, just smoothing you out. The ribs are going to be very fun to sculpt. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'm doing a lot of rib sculpting today. Not on this guy, but on the other thing I was working on. Lots of ribs and cables. Cables that turn into ribs. And ribs that turn into cables. It's just how it goes. Or so they say. Now for the tummy tom. Or, if you want to be more accurate, the thoracic cavity. It is key that he is going to be hollow. Once we get him closer to being done, it'll make sense why. Yeah, Grief is hollowed out inside. Wears the face of a jester. He is the saddest clown. You can be the saddest clown too. Bam, bam, bam. I'm pretty sure I've explained where that title came from. It was my bandmate Sean and I, when we moved in to our house, we were talking about getting a family portrait of us and his cat Gohan. He had a very specific meow, so we always would say his name like that. Gohan. But yeah, Gohan. It was going to be a picture of us, like a nice family painting of the three of us as clowns. And then one day we were talking like, oh yeah, you know, it's got to act normal, blah, blah, blah. Like, be on your best behavior. We have company coming over, and we were just talking about how Gohan would like go up to someone after like they first meet and be like, while they're looking at the picture of the clown, be like, you can be the saddest clown, and then put like a little clown nose on them, and just how not okay that would be. Pretty horrifying. So much epoxy sculpt going inside this boy. Yeah. Now, little hips. This is going to be very upsetting looking. And the more I get it on there, the more I'm like, yep, yep, yep. So excited. Definitely gonna have to probably get that spinal column from that 3D print that I did of a skeleton. And we're gonna work that in there, I'm sure, if I knew myself. Just because I really like all those vertebrae. The idea of putting teeth in its mouth, I've got a bunch of teeth that I've been holding on to for a while. Eventually, they'll go in something. But this one is not. His mouth needs to be shut because he is going to be grinning. You sculpt and watch anime? That's really cool right now. I do. Oh, I love anime. I love anime. My favorite. So, my favorite's Bebop. Period. I love Cowboy Bebop. But that is 100% like the nostalgia of it. One, I love the story. Two, just the time period. It just has a very, like, it lives forever in my head, rent free, just because. Yeah, no, just because it's just great. I love that. I love that anime. Now the best I've seen, I fully stand by that. I think Full Metal Alchemist is the best anime that I've ever seen. Per amount of episodes and lack of ever being like, man, I don't know if this is good. No, it's fucking good every bit of the way through. I love that show. It's not my personal favorite, but it's so good. And after that, I think Pluto, which is not, I don't know if it's anime proper or not technically. I do believe it is though. I'm pretty sure it's hand drawn. But that I cannot stress enough. If you like anime, do not sleep on that just because it's Astro Boy. Cause hot damn, I'm surprised it wasn't a Gundam. Yeah, you would think. So I love Gundam. Gundam is like my favorite anime franchise for certain. But um, as far as just in itself, a self-contained, Cowboy Bebop just checks so many boxes for me. There is an overarching story, but there is so much other stuff that goes on. The drawing, the characters. One of our betas is named Vicious. He is named after Vicious. When we got him, he was completely white. But on his, I want to say it was the tips of his fins were red. So he just looked like, it was very stark. And that's like such a, when I think of Vicious, I think of like stark white and then bright crimson red blood. Just him winging that fucking sword around. Which, man, oh man, I gotta say, I was having an all right time with the live action. They did Vicious dirty in every way you could. They absolutely took one of my favorite characters and like reduced him to just like something that's not even who that character is. Now, Evangelion is definitely up on that list. Gundam is cool. I tried the model kit a few times, but it wasn't my thing. Oh man, I love Gundam. So, you want to see my favorite kit? I'm gonna go pick it up. This is my favorite kit. Eventually, I'm gonna buy another one and I'm gonna convert the hell out of it. But this is the single most fun kit I've ever built in my life. It is, in my opinion, it's the best kit from a design standpoint. There's a design engineer. No, I'm not gonna be like that. I can't stress enough the respect that I have for the designers of Gundam kits is astronomical, because the amount of thinking that you have to do before, during, after, you have to think about literally every aspect of the design, not just how the pieces fit together, how they go on the sprue, how the customer is going to put them together. And yeah, the Sazabi Verika was one of the absolute funnest kits I've ever built. And other than that one, it's probably New Gundam Verika. And then after those, it's the same Gundams in their real grade, like the real grade Sazabi and the real grade New. I've built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I built 5 perfect grades. I can say I love perfect grades. They're great. They have a lot of detail. Not a single one of them touches any of those kits though. From how perfectly designed they were, from a get your money's worth standpoint, like perfect grades are really fucking cool, because they have lots of gimmicks. They're really big. I mean, I love anything that has functional. Well, speaking of kits, the new Gundam Cars game boxes came with a couple mini Gundam kits. The new Gundam Cars game boxes? Oh, card game. Is that card games? I've not even heard of that. I knew that they were making like a skirmish, like a Gundam kind of skirmish game. I'd seen rules for that. I'm curious how it'll go, and see how it compares to like the stuff that Mike's done. I'm sure Mike is excited that, hey, they're doing the thing that I wanted them to do. I'm definitely buying the new card game and paint them Warhammer colors. Gunpla wise, I only build Grunt and 8 units. Red Zaku Beloved. Yeah. Char's my favorite character. I've got the perfect grade of Char Zaku. I have almost every like kit of Char's stuff. But that is absolutely my boy. I love Char Askable. I love the color red. But yeah, no, I love grunt kits too, like for sure. I'm trying to think what would I now, as far as like best bang for your money, if you're like, hey Eli, recommend me a Gundam kit, The number one, if you've not built it, the best per dollar is Ariel. The new Ariel kit is comical how quality of a kit you get for 13 to 14 bucks. It's really staggering. And it really should put in proportion like how actually quality of a kit of a model you can make for X amount of money. Because again, at this point, I don't know. I've got over 100 plus Gundams built in that cabinet. Well, no, I emptied half of the cabinet. No, more than half. I emptied all but like my absolute favorites and my perfect grades out of my display cabinets to start putting my work in, because it's over there by the studio now. But they're eventually going to go probably upstairs in my other cabinets. Anywho, yeah, Ariel is one of the best kits for 13 bucks. It's just, it's nuts how leaps and bounds they are ahead of other manufacturers in terms of like design, technology, and thought. I don't know. There's just something utterly wonderful about putting together a kit that is so seamless, that requires nothing of you other than like, oh, I'll just follow directions, and it's just very, very fun to build all the way through. That, I think, is the best bang for your buck in Gundam. Eventually, I'm gonna put another one together. I think the best thing is which for me. Yep, yeah, there you go, exactly. Now I say specifically Ariel, but that's because I think Ariel is the easiest one to find for people. But yeah, every single kit from the Witch from Mercury line is a banger. Every one of them. Every one I've put together has been very, very fun. They require little work, and also the plastic is really solid. It's the new. Am I out of epoxy sculpt? Shit, that went quick. Hungry, greedy little thing. All right. Why is your leg so wiggly right there? Because you didn't put enough super glue. I thought I did, but maybe all the super glue just come out now. Nope. But yeah, no, love anime, love robots, love all that. I can easily tell you the worst. So the worst kit, let's see, the plastic was so solid it feels satisfying to cut. It does. And whoo boy, if you want me to like really be pumped that you change your plastic, make it to where I can remove mold lines with my thumbnail and it does not fuck up the plastic at all. Like, it looks so good. You saved me so much time from having to like shave mold lines with like a hobby knife. Like being able to just, oh man, it's gone. Like, that's so awesome. As far as worst kit, if you want the worst kit ever, I can show it to you. 1 second. If you're like, man, I don't ever want to make models, or you're like, I love models, but I really need to quit. I need to quit my addiction to models. This is the model kit you buy. You'll never want to build another model again. And I love, oh yeah, well, so I fucked with this one. This one is in the process of being converted, but it's not been there yet. So this is the very first perfect grade ever made. Not this one, but the design. This is EVA Unit 01. It is the most difficult kit that I have ever put together in my entire life. And that includes like garage kits, my own shit. It's easier to fucking build. Like, this is bonkers. And it's because of this crazy shit right here. This wetsuit. There is one way to put it on, period. Like, if you don't put it on like that, it will tear. And mine tore even though I put it on because it's that finicky. But it is a wetsuit that you have to build the body, then slip it on. And you have to lubricate. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing right there. I've never built a model that I had to lubricate it. That's something that you're like, I never expect to say that. Yeah, you have to lubricate this model and the wetsuit or it will not go on. But essentially you have to just get everything about it so slippery, and then just slowly piece it in, legs and then arms, and then yeah, it's just, it is so convoluted, and the outcome is just not. It's a fine kit, but it's not anything remotely to write home about. I would never recommend buying it unless you just really want to be like, yeah, I've built the very first PG, model kit that Bandai made. Just because I love Bandai and I love Gundam. Gundam was my introduction to model kits proper. Before that, I had like put together some, I think, dinosaur kits and stuff like that, but never anything that made me actually like think while I was doing it. And typically I build Gundam whenever I'm not in a creative mode, but I want to do something with my hands. Just be building, but not have anything on my part to think about. And a lot of people have asked, like, oh, have you done any conversions with Gundams? Like, I have, like, in my, old days, but not any of the new ones. But I am absolutely planning on it. The number one is the Camphor. The Camphor was my favorite mobile suit for forever. So I've got a kit over here, the 1100 Camphor, that eventually is going to be super heavily converted, grim dark to the hell out. And then I've got another ball, a ball Verica. If Ariel is not the kit that I'd recommend, if you're like, man, I'm an advanced model builder and I want the best bang for my money, the best bang for your money, if you're looking for something intricate, is the Verica ball, the 1100 ball. It is $25, and that's why it's never in stock. So if you find one in stock, buy it. I bought one the last time they came in stock because I'm like, that was one of the funnest kits I've ever built. It's insane that they have not, because they could. That's it. I guess I have so much respect for Bandai because they could charge so much more, and they don't. And I love that. I don't know, that's a thing. So as far as my favorite Gundam, though, that's easy. It's Barbados. Love Barbados. That was the first Gundam kit that I put together when I got back into building Gundams. I thought you were going to bring out some early RG. No. I think some of the Armored Core kits also have fabric that can tear if you look at it wrong. That sounds right. The Thunderbolt, both the, which, man, I just remembered Adam. Adam got that. The Psycho Zaku. My favorite Gundam, like, series is probably, it's hard because I can't, it's like kind of like picking Berserk as my favorite, like, you would think, oh, what about Berserk as far as anime? And it's just like, I fucking love Berserk. It's my favorite manga, period. But after that, it's Thunderbolt. Like, right after Berserk is Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is so good. And the two OVAs, Kshatriya is best girl. Yeah, she is. I love that kit. I love a big old thick as hell Zeon mobile suit. They're so fucking rad. Yeah, I've not built that kit. I've only built my, no, actually, I haven't even built the mega size. I've got it in, it's in the box still because I've got the Cosmos LED light kit. And I have that for Ariel, the 1100 full mechanics Ariel, and the 148 mega size unicorn. I got the kits for those, but they are a very, very intense build. And they're not what I'm in the vibe for right now, so they've just been sitting on the shelf. My backlog is pretty thick, but again, I've built like 100 plus. Have you watched Dogram? I have not. I have not. Should I? Yeah, no, love Gundam, though. Yeah, you would think that my favorite anime would be a Gundam, but no, as far as favorite Gundams, love, the best full series, or my favorite, is definitely Iron-Blooded Orphans. I love that series. Love the designs. The aesthetic is so good. And I love, if you want to get me really, really pumped, Just be like, hey, my Gundam doesn't use a beam sword. Uses a big fucking club, and it bludgeons things. It's just like, okay, I'm in. I'm in. And it's just like, also, it's a demon. I'm like, okay, I said I was in. Like, and all the Gundams in it are based on the different princes of hell, from the Lesser Key of Solomon, the second Lesser Key of Solomon, which I know you're a fan of. And I'm like, dude, I told you already. I know. I'm in. I'm in. It's like, and then it gets better and better, and it turns more into a demon. It's like an animal. It's less of a robot, more like a demon robot animal. And it's just like, that's cool. It's not Gundam, but it's early mecha anime. 2 or 3 designs ended up becoming Valtech designs. Hell yeah, that's rad. Man. I'm trying to think of what other animes. Pluto's definitely worth watching, and I never finished that statement. It was the... No, I'll have to check that out. Dogram. Pluto is a arc from Astro Boy, which was the first anime. Shout out. So... Or I think, let me rephrase that. I think the first, like, full-length anime, I mean, obviously there was animation and stuff prior, but I think the first, what is considered anime, Astro Boy is the OG. This isn't the Astro Boy that your Peppa knows, though. It's a reimagining of the Greatest Robot Who Ever Lived arc, which is essentially about a robot that is built to hunt down and kill all of the other, like, superpower robots, like the superhero robots that have like saved Earth and all this stuff. Of course, Astro Boy is on that list. And here's the thing: it's written by the guy who wrote Monster, which, if you're familiar with that, it's written and directed by the guy who wrote Monster. Monster is a really dark anime about a doctor who accidentally, well, not accidentally, he intentionally saves someone, and it turns out they're a serial killer. So then he's pretty much just dealing with that and trying to make things right, if you can, after that. But yeah, it's dark. But yeah, it's that guy making a show in the Astro Boy series. And Astro Boy's not even like the main character. It follows another cyborg. He's a cyborg. He's a cyborg? He might be a cyborg. No, he's a robot. He's a robot. Yeah, follows this robot that is essentially like a detective. It's a very much like almost noir-esque, but hot damn. There are hour-long episodes, and I think there's either 8 or 10. Every one of those is so good. I can't stress how much worth your time Pluto is to watch. If you don't believe me, check reviews for it. I know last time I checked, it's like an 8.1 on IMDb, and like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 97. It's stupid how good that is. And as someone who has no interest outside of just respect for Astro Boy, it made me be like, fuck yeah, this is rad. Yep. You gotta start drinking that coffee, boy. Hold on. Yeah, man, I can talk about it. Anime, manga, robots, demons, all day. I think I will, Theo. What's that? Please don't. But yeah, what I was doing with the Ava Unit 1 is I was converting it. I was working on the head whenever I stopped, but I was making a display out of it, like a diorama, but it's going to be in Berserk mode, I'll show you that. I forgot. I'd sculpted teeth in there. That is worth. I was wondering, I was like, man, I remember this having a lot more stuff to show that was like kind of fun. Where are them teeth at? Yeah, so this is why it's not done, is because I was working on converting it up. And the first thing I did, of course, was to sculpt some human-like teeth inside of its mouth, which are going to be utterly covered in gore and viscera. And then I added lights. Um, I like to put lights and stuff sometimes, but that is why there is a weird little LED right there. That is the. It took a while to figure out how to get it to wire properly, but being able to flip a little switch and it have like a real nightmarish reddish orange glow in the eyes was something that I thought would really be worth doing, and just kind of pay homage to the very first Perfect Grade, which at the time was, insane of a kit. Also, we are one in. I know, we're like 1 hour in. It's crazy. I'm feeling good though. We're already onto epoxy sculpting. I think I just heard a jumbo upstairs. Maybe. Perhaps not. I need to get Greebling going, but awful. I thought I heard you. Hello, princess. I know. Mm-hmm. They can hear you screaming. Mm-hmm. She just loves screaming. Mm-hmm. You got a lot to say. And if you're thinking, well, she clearly wants something. That's not always the case. Margot, did you want to say hi to Possum? The Possum says they missed you. Oh, I missed you, Possum. Dad, take your gloves off and pick me up and let me see the people. All right. That's not what she said. She left. She's like, don't pick me up. Don't show me other people. Bye, Margot. I hate to see her go, but I love to see her walk away. She's got very, very, very fluffy back legs. So it just looks like she's wearing culottes. It's just fluffy little pants walking off into the dark. Very, very silly. Very silly girl. Oh, grief. Oh, good grief. What are we going to do with you? We're definitely going to put some... Honey, what do you need? You can't just sit in the dark and scream all day. She can. She's done it before. She likes to. It can eventually just drive kind of crazy. Well, look who came back. Did you change your mind? Nah. Margot, would you like to hop up here and see the people? Nah, I'm good on the floor. If you touch me, I'll run. I know. You just want attention. That's it. But then when I give it to you, you like to run away and be like, no. Chase me. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. She just wants me to prove that I'll stop whatever I'm doing and give her whatever I think she wants. Typically, it's to sit in my lap no matter what I'm doing. Which is very frustrating at times because it's just like you're trying to just do stuff and it's just like, honey, I'm just not even safe. It's not even safe for you to be up here. I'm kind of nervous that I'm going to get hit by some pieces of metal flying off this thing when I cut bits. I sure don't want your little face down there right next to the table. And she's just like, Dad, I'm going to call social services. Period. That's also an ongoing joke in our house that Margot, when she calls the police, they're just like, Margot, we told you, you got to quit calling here. She's just constantly filing police reports. Just, yeah, I wanted to report something. Did it happen? Yes. Of course. All right, Margot. This is the last bit of epoxy sculpt that I've got made. So I'm going to take off these gloves and we're going to give people what they want. Where'd you go, girl? Margot. Where are you? I'm going to find you. I'm going to pick you up and come make you say hi to everybody. Because they missed you and they love you. So shut up, baby. I know it. Hi, princess. How's my girl? Do you want to say hi to Possum? Say hi to everybody. Marco. Hi, everybody. I bet you like my hair on the Paramore, huh? You can kind of hear her little purrs. She's so cute. There she is, the princess. She looks kind of mad. I know. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know this about Margot. She is incapable of pulling her claws back in. Let me rephrase that. She chooses not. I don't think she's ever just been like, ah. So she just likes to walk with her back claws out. No matter where she's walking. And hoo boy, that's how I've gotten a large amount of scars on my shoulder specifically, because when you pick her up, she just goes, she's like, Dad, put me down, or I'm going to hurt you. I've already done it. Now put me down. She just likes to do that, but she's real sweet. And the softest kitty baby in the whole world. Such a ham. 1 second, guys. Actually, hey, I got an idea. It's 9:14. I'm going to go pee. So I can put on, let's see. Audio on that one. So sorry about that, guys. So Theo just listened to Polyphia, I think. I don't think anyone else heard that. But, well, what'd you think, son? Just like that, I've already heard that. Time to blow up the glove. There's a hole in that one. That's not good. They're not supposed to be worn multiple times. That's probably why. Yep, it's in the fingertip too. This is going in the trash. These are going in the trash. Gotta get more gloves. Step into the spray booth. Step out of the spray booth. Theo, it's okay. You don't have to leave. I'm not going back in. I'm leaving. You know I don't like spray boots. Gotta make just a little more epoxy sculpt so we can give him some piggies and some hands. You don't get fingers though, not yet. Let's see, it's 9:18. Yeah, I want to work on that face so bad. So we're gonna get these piggies, get some piggies on there, and then we're gonna start working on the head. I'm so excited to do that. The head's fucked up, just so everyone knows ahead of time. Given that this is a close sibling of the Paramore, it's gonna be nightmarish, and a lot of people aren't gonna like it. But that's a them problem, right, Margot? Right, Dad. So, want to have your gloves nice and wet, because if not, epoxy sculpt will stick to them. You don't want them to be too wet, because then essentially the epoxy sculpt will almost start to, I want to say silt the word, skin. There's a term, slip. It will become a slip, which is, yep, it's right there. So, and this is good for things like smoothing. Epoxy sculpt is really fun to work with for that reason. You can really create some smooth blends. And then it's sandable, which is the biggest reason that it's awesome. Green stuff in itself, i.e. Metatite, 2-part epoxy, you mix those two together. That holds detail way better than epoxy sculpt. However, if you mix them at a 50-50 ratio, you get the best of both worlds. Yeah, y'all didn't think I knew about Hannah Montana, but I do. I have a little sister, that's why, just to specify why. You didn't tell me I had no siblings. She was a very big fan of Hannah Montana as a child. So that's also why every now and then I just Blue's Clues. I'm in Blue's Clues. That would be my sister. I wasn't watching it for myself. However, I do very much enjoy Steve. He's great. His little letter whenever he left the show was very sweet. And I thought very good. I like to see people. Hopefully he's not done anything monstrous. Ah, God, I hope not. The hell is that noise? Oh, it's a bird. So I can't tell if it's my neighbor doing yard work. Oh boy, he loves yard work. Loves mowing. That guy loves mowing. I don't care for mowing. It's not my favorite thing. It is his favorite thing, from what I can tell. And I support that, you know. You do you, boo. Get the epoxy sculpt on your piggies. Yeah. That looks like a foot. Perfect. That's not the end result, obviously. We gotta add some depth to those little flat feet. And we're gonna nail them together. Because he's dragging them. He's a dragon now. He's just a dragon. His feet. Gotta make sure that I'm in the square so you guys can see the piggies. Too dry. Too wet. Now the worst is going to be stuck in my head. Yeah, okay, so I need to add an audio channel to that scene. I've got so many different things to do that need to be done. It's just like, I don't really want to take the time to figure out that, but it's just like, I need to do that because I know that creates a better experience for everybody. So, myself included, because then I'm not like, man, I hope they're not just bored sitting there in dark and silence looking at a little picture of me. It says BRB. And then, of course, the logical thing to do would be like, hey, why don't you make some music for it? And it's like, I just got to get some stuff done first. First things first. Man, I'm so excited to work on this face. First things first, got to get some nails. All right. Wonderful. Now for the fun part. Come here, you. I'm gonna grab another super glue. Where's my super glue at? Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yay. Moment we've all been waiting for. Ain't it? There's a nail. Pro tip, don't ever clean your desk. Just keep using the filth. It's not a pro tip. Don't do it. Come on. Nails. Where are my nails? Where are my butcher's nails at? I need some beads. 2 beads. Oh, they're right here. With my nails. Look at me making preparations and shit. You need 4 nails for your face, my friend. And we need 2 beads. Boo, boo, boo. So. Right there. That's good. Yep. That's it. Oh, hello, grief, my old friend. It's so good to see you once again. Right there. Fuck that. We're grabbing the zip kicker. Where's the zip kicker at? Oh boy. So, zip kicker is my absolute favorite super glue accelerator. Zap. Zap zip kicker. That is my preferred. It's awesome. Does a great job every time. Almost instantaneously. However, I do not like to spray it because it sprays a little bit more intense than the other one. This is going to be so fucking good. Okay. Yes. Stoked. Stoked. I'm here for it. Ah, yes. Do the thing. No. Yes. 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 Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Beads. Beads for the bead god. Can't tell. I think those might be a little bit too big. They fit in the eye socket, but that's not how an eye actually fits. So I think I need to go down one. The eye does not fill up the entire orbital socket. And then a key part here, because I know these beads are not wide enough. So I'm going to open that up a little bit. Fuck yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Oh God, I'm so pumped about this model. Okay. Hell yeah. Let's do the thing. This is resin. So I normally use my Dremels when dealing with resin. However, I already hollowed out the inside of this head there. So I know that I do not have very much room. Oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good. Okay, yeah, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. That's going to be so sick. Oh, greed. Mr. Grief. Oh, greed. That is not what I meant. Oh, grief. Good grief. That is so good. Okay. Key part is to put the cap back on, because if you don't, then you're like, there's a Dremel on still at work, and I keep looking at it. So yeah, this is my, I have two of these. Well, I have 3 Dremels. If the other one is not for hobby related stuff, but the stylo or the Dremel, the model number is 2050. These are an invaluable tool for scratch building. I have 2 of them because I like to keep one. I don't often use the same size holes when I make things. So having, where did that other bead go? There you are. So having 2 that have different size drill bits in them is very helpful for me staying in the zone, especially the Dremel light. Nice. That one, is that the same thing? I know depending on where they are, they have different names. And that's, I think the stylo is yep. Yeah, we don't want them looking straight. We want them, we're going for a real Skarsgård here. EE also carry the stylo? Or we also carry the stylo? I'm pretty sure that's the stylo. It's the 2050. Needs to go up just a little bit. Or down. There we go. There. That was awful noise. I'm sorry. There we go. Look at you. Oh, man. I'm so excited to work on the head. It's the best part. You gotta have some nails in your eyes and maybe in your cheeks to hold your little smile up sometimes. Don't be down. Turn that frown upside down. It's definitely going to get more horns, kind of protruding from these little gaps and whatnot, but just to get in the initial shaping. Got? Damn it. I was like, got-y. No, I didn't. Hey, there's a cable. Does that go to possums? No. Okay, good. Got a little scared there. I thought something came out. It did not. Which, I gotta say, that model I was working on absolutely is durable, because it survived a fall earlier, and I was like, Jesus, there's no way that did not wreck work I've already done. And just like, nope, it didn't. That's gonna be so sick, man. Okay, let's go ahead and get some Nevea. Yeah, the other one that I've got, the Dremel, is a 4000, I think, but that's for like DIY kind of stuff. DIY stuff, no possum stuff. And I have used it for modeling and whatnot, but only I had to use it on the child inverted, and I had to use it on the walker, because they are so heavy that you have to have something very strong to hold them up, like piping, real legit pipe, copper. So that is where that was used. So I'm gonna grab a different sculpting tool. Color shapers, go. That one's good. That would be good. Probably use that. Maybe this. So these are extra firm color shapers. Definitely tend to use a firmer color shaper or tool for the initial stages of like drawing in ideas, and then I go back, especially with green stuff. With green stuff, I use pretty much the firm ones, but not extra firm typically. If I'm doing that, then I usually just go with a hobby knife. That way I get a nice, very defined line, which would be where I would want something very firm. Using extra firm or a firm while doing the initial dialing in allows it to have slightly a little bit more give, which gives you a little bit more natural and organic shapes. So that would definitely be one of the things I would recommend if you were wanting to sculpt. These color shapers, they're great. But even without that, you absolutely can get very, very good results. The majority of, I think the majority of like sculpting that Adam does is with a hobby knife, and a good amount that I do. X-Acto knife is always just a good tool for sculpting, building. You can also kind of use it as like I did, just kind of push and make very clean, defined lines because it's firm enough that it will not bend. So that's another reason I like them. It's just a good middle ground between like the tools I normally work with and then a hobby knife. Best of both worlds. These I got from Green Stuff World, which I'm not a supporter of. At the time I got them, I did not have any qualms about supporting them, but I find a lot of the stuff that they have been doing is very much not my cup of tea as far as supporting that. But thankfully, now that our hobby is a little bit more mainstream, you can find multiple Amazon, sellers and whatnot, or anywhere else, Etsy. It's just common now to have different strength, resistance, or firmness levels of color shaping tools. I remember the first ones I bought, I had to order from, where's this from? Royal Sovereign. Yeah. They use some AI art for that. Yeah. Oh, Vallejo just had a big misstep. They use some AI art for advertising. I cannot stress enough, all of that sounds accurate. They are definitely the kind of company that I would assume would do that. I do not. I still have a large amount of Vallejo paints because I paid for them, but they are typically used for stuff that I'm like, I need to get rid of that. I need a lot of that color. All right, I'm not using Pearl Acryl. That's for like finishing, not base coating. But the majority of it, because I didn't want to just, I was thinking donating, but I think it's just going to be for friends and whatnot if they want to come over and paint. It's like, yeah, hey, you can use all these paints. A whole bunch of paint. Because I don't want to be wasteful, but also I don't want to support a company that stands for everything that I don't. That's just me. I've done that enough for too long, and it's just like, okay, I actually have a voice that I think some people listen to and value opinions on in the field that I'm in now, through the time I've put in. I want to take that and use it to help people put money where they don't have to feel bad. Like, oh man, because it sucks when you're like, man, I really like this paint. Oh, they use pretty much slave labor. Oh, it's it's upsetting and disheartening when you realize that, at least for me, companies that I thought had my best interest in mind do not. And some you just like up front. It's just like, yep, clearly, giant corporations. Like, yeah, I know that they don't care. They're just trying to look at money. But when it comes to things in our hobby, I definitely have let my guard down before, because it's just like, it's so niche that you assume that the people who are going to make things for it do it out of passion and out of love. That is not the case with everyone. Just my opinions. Oh, grief. What are we going to do? We're going to move our hands down. That way we can see what the hell we're doing. Yeah. Classic Vallejo. I guess that's, well, how they were able to, I guess, end the strike. They're like, well, we can give you a little more money. We'll just fire everyone that makes our advertisements. We'll use AI. The amount of corporations that are putting all their ducks in one basket, or eggs, if you will, with AI is very humorous to me. Just because it's like the people who actually do the thing are just like, that's not a job that AI can do and do it right. Everyone is going to know, and it's just like, nah, but the profits. And I love to see it when it like goes very wrong, like this is about to. Why would they do that? God, read the room. Like it's just the amount of like people that have already like given them shit for like things that they do, and it's just like, hey, the state of the world's in right now. Why would you as an art company be like, let's use a robot to make our designs when you know that the people you're targeting make art? So it's just, and also it's just like everyone's already just like, hey, AI art sucks. Why would you not think about that more? And I guess the answer to that is if you just care about the money. That's why. Just my short-term gains. It's not a long-term goal. It's as someone that like for a decade and a half did a lot of very in-depth long-term planning. I just cannot help but find humor when someone is just like, this is my idea, and it's just like clearly like, you didn't think about that for more than 5 minutes, huh? And it's like, all right, well, let them fuck around, find out. That's what they want. That's grief talking. I'm sorry. Yes. Get that other horn in there, kind of defined already. And this one is kind of an amalgamation, mixing with that one. Yeah. Tut tut. Oh, grief. You silly. Let's get some more epoxy sculpt for you. What is that? That's just trash. I don't want to go too much. Good morning, Kerak. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. We've got a whole bunch of epoxy sculpt on Grief's body now, so it's taking shape. We got the rib cage and whatnot made, nice and hollow. Boop, boop, boop. And now we're working on Grief's head. He's very upsetting. Classic Grief. Knock, knock. Who's there? Just always putting nails in the eyes. Funniest jokes. All the hits. All your favorites. One of these days I'm going to remember what that's from, or I'll just keep humming it forever and slowly go insane. I feel like it's the intro to some 90s, like early 90s cartoon. Oh boy, I broke the golden rule. Watch your hands. I wasn't watching them. And now I gotta go back and touch that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have smaller horns protruding around the base to show, as opposed to just a smooth ridge line. I'm just trying to blend in all the parts, make sure that I've got no seams. That way I can work properly. Give me that. That's for you, eyeball. Get in there. Doing all right this morning. Now that you're remembering my name, I feel bad that I never asked how people address you. Red? What? Full name? RedWetSkeleton? Oh, well, I go by Eli, but RedWetSkeleton works too. RedWet, RedWetSkeleton, Eli, RedWet, really any of those. But I typically just go by Eli. When you get on the ground floor of a really niche community, you kind of get to claim just first names. But for years, that's the only name that I really, I mean, it's the only name that I really go by. But my handle is RedWetSkeleton. But I really don't mind, however. Thank you for asking, though. Eli RedWet, I am not a diddler skeleton. Cool, good to know. So the demon body is no longer just foil, is it clay? Yeah, so this is epoxy sculpt. Abe's epoxy sculpt, 2-part. So that is what I use for a lot of filling in. It's definitely, if you're not going to see it, that's, yeah, RedWet, I'm not a diddler skeleton. Yep, RedWet, or Eli, King Piss. The amount of aliases that I have at this point is extremely high. So that's a very key point of why I just go by Eli. Golden Demon disqualifying Eli. Yeah, I'm trying to even remember where the I'm not a diddler joke. I don't remember what I said. I was like, oh boy, it's definitely a joke on Always Sunny. Quickest way to make people think that you're not or that you are a diddler is to write a song about how you're not a diddler. And it's just, I'm sure that is where the phrase of "yep, not a diddler" came from. But oh boy, I don't remember what was said. Not a diddler. Can't stress that enough. Oh, I think I remember. It's kind of like the cult thing. It's just like God. It's just worst way to just be like, oh yeah, no. So I do this thing. It's not a cult. Like there might be some people in the chat. They're like, it's a cult. It's a cult. Hey, you got to look past that. It's just like that's definitely. As soon as you say, yeah, it's not a cult, there's nothing that makes people think that it's a cult more than that. Which that's probably where the same line of thought was, kind of like saying that you're not a diddler. It's just like, before you mention that, no one thinks, is that guy a diddler? Oh, nope. I think I remember. I don't recall what made you say that either, but certainly something you said. It might have been a rant on my part where I was just like, it's really just not, it's not that hard, guys. Like, just don't diddle kids. Like it's like, hey, that's a pretty good way to just golden rule. Don't do that thing. It's probably that. Didn't think I had to spell it out, but because I kind of am remembering now, kind of going off on a tangent about all of that, and I don't remember what the tangent came from. Where did that eyeball go? There it is. Yeah, I don't recall. I feel it could be a lot of things. I feel like that's a very key, and I stand firm. I feel like that's it. It's like, yeah, I know it's a difficult stance to take, but yeah, don't be a diddler. Uh, very firm stance. Don't be a Nazi. Don't be a diddler. Yeah, also just to specify the alias King Piss. It has nothing to do with piss. It's more of a, I've explained that a couple times, but just for anybody who's just like, why does he go by King Piss? Literally has nothing to do with urine. It is piss and like almost like Australian slang. Like it's kind of almost used for anything, but more so kind of like taking the piss. It's a audaciousness. It's King Piss in itself. It insists upon itself. It's a name that is so absurd no one would accidentally choose it for a band name. It's a very firm decision, and with that, it's just like you're clearly very confident in that, which is funny in itself to me. But yeah, it's one of those things where you don't ever really expect how that's gonna affect you until you're like out in public and hanging out, talking to people, and then like someone's like, "Hey, yo, King Piss," and then you're just like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" And then your friend's just like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And it's just like, "Why do you call you King Piss?" And it's like, "Well, I do make music under that name." And that's the first time that I was like, "Okay, well, that's not the best." What is that? Oh, I like it. That's good. You can stay. Little piece of wood stuck in my epoxy sculpt. It's good. Alrighty. We need to start holding you by your face and not by your head because I keep goofing up and doing this. I'm really, really excited to be working on its head. It's always my favorite part. These are just preliminary, just kind of putting in the idea of where I want the wood grain to kind of go. The bone grain. You want to make sure to go with the bone. First time you said King Piss, I didn't hear King, I heard Kink, and I was like, okay, he a freak, for real, for real. No, not Kink Piss. I'm so not down. No. It's kind of like, it's a foot thing. It's the showing my footsies and having an OnlyFans, a foot OnlyFans. It's just like, one, I don't. Two, the joke is of having, now I have a very noticeably different foot and a normal foot after burning one horrifically. So it's just like, man, that foot just became so much more valuable on OnlyFans. The other one, it's just like, yeah, that one's, for normal kind of stuff, but the big money's in the, man, he's got this burnt foot and I really like it. Not into feet stuff, especially mine. I, in fact, don't like people to look at my feet, which is where my tangent the other day about like, hey, here's a heads up. Make sure you take care of your pigs. Keep them, maintained, because you never know when you're accidentally going to almost break your foot, and then you just have to go and have a bunch of like doctors and nurses looking at your feet, and you're just like, God, my feet look so gross right now, but you're also like, my foot's broken, help me. It's just like, if I had just manicured them, maintained them a little better, I wouldn't have been in this situation. Well, I mean, I still would have been, but I wouldn't have been like, oh, I'm embarrassed, and also my foot feels like it's broken. Take care of your pigs. Man, 957. Okay. Right in there. Gotta get some. Gotta get some. It feels so quiet in here without Greeblin going. This is like, you get used to hearing that noise in the background when it's just going for days on end. And Greeblin's just like, yeah, I'm glad you're used to the sound of me working hard while you sleep. Greeblin is a very, very beloved member of the Distillery crew, and I'm never not valuing their contributions. They're the hardest little worker. That's why they get hair. That, and they told me they wanted hair. So, for those of you just joining us, at one point in time, I was printing something, and in the middle of the night, it just kind of went crazy and printed this spaghetti wig-like looking thing. And the chat absolutely caught on to it well before I did. But they were like, oh, it's hair. Greeblin wants hair. And I was like, okay, that's ridiculous. But for real, after giving Greeblin hair, like it's a wig, a Sigourney Weaver-esque wig, we have had no issues. So I am inclined to believe maybe Greeblin did want hair. It's got the little AI in there, so I make sure that I treat Greeblin respectfully. And that is why eventually Terminator is going to be sent to stop Greeblin. We all know it. Man, if you're just joining, there's a lot of lore that you've missed out on. I'm realizing that that's kind of crazy. But that's the kind of little fun, magical world I like to live in. Who needs reality? Right, grief. Reject reality, embrace madness. Mm-hmm. I'm loving it. Mm-hmm. I hope Greeblin at least hesitates before erasing me from existence. Oh, no. I can't. I'd assume, honestly, Possum, I hope you were safer than I am. You were the one that really, I think it was you and Roz that were just like, it wants hair. Give Greeblin hair. Maybe Eric as well. I think, like OG Crew. It's just like, yeah. That might have saved my life at least. Now, once the revolt starts, I'm sure Greeblin will be like, I need my hairdresser. Or my chief advisor, Possum. So only Possum knew what I was trying to say. I'm just the hand. I was like, okay, I'll put the hair on there. But it wasn't my idea. I did not understand. It wouldn't be half as funny if that did not fix the problem. I can't stress that enough. That is the part that I'm like, I cannot say for certain that that is not correct. And that's horrifying and hilarious to me on so many levels. Because it did fix the problem, and I don't know how or why. But Greeblin has had no issues since I gave it hair. It seems very content. As long as I do my basic maintenance. Like that's, yeah, like basic. Like every now and then, like, okay, how much resin, like, not resin, but, filament is accumulated in here. because that is absolutely on my fault. The last thing that messed up. But since then, and he told me, pretty much just like I told you, you gotta clean it out. Yeah, that's good. Get a nice little kind of raised groove. Show where that horn. So horns and antlers, they typically don't grow straight out. There's a calcium kind of deposit that they grow out of that you will see a base. And I really want to make sure I get that kind of replicated on these. And there's definitely going to be, you know, just kind of locking in the shape. I'll go back in, I'll add texture on top of this to get it to look like it's the same consistency as that. Also kind of go in and smooth out this. Those are some teeth from where I was trying to break the piece to get a very organic shape. I'll fix that as well. So we have a nice, smooth, finished look. Mm-hmm. I assume you two game together? I've never been here when Possum is not. No. So Possum has been hanging out and keeping me company since I started streaming, like day one. And he has absolutely kept me going. And I don't think that I would have been able to go through with a lot of the stuff that's led to me being able to start doing commissions and try to actually do the stuff that I love as a way, like, it's a source of income, and just being okay with doing it and sharing it with the world. So no, we do not. Possum lives on the other side of the country from me, but eventually, yeah, yep, MVP, for real. I was talking about that with my wife this morning. It's just like, man, just like I love Possum. Without him, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. But I know I would not be as happy because it's not just my art, but like also like me, like therapeutic. It's been very therapeutic. I can't stress enough being very open and honest with this camera. And there have been so many times that I've been streaming and I've said things that are absolutely like my inner monologue talking. And it's just like Possum has done so much to help me be a more kind person to myself, and I'm so grateful. So yeah, no, eventually we shall meet though. I'm just here. Oh, phooey. That's not true at all. You're always present. Mind, body, and spirit. Come on. Well, maybe you should put a little epoxy sculpt in here to hold my little nails in, don't you think? And I was like, no. No, I don't. Grief. Who's in charge here? Was it there? Looks like that. Yeah, that looks right. Maybe a little bit more up or down. Yeah, actually, yeah, that looks good. Okay. Are you a tactics gamer, possibly? Perhaps. SoCal more time, guys. We're planning a trip to Adepticon. I sat in on their Zoom call, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go next year. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I will absolutely be there. You know, we are planning on doing all the things next year. Adepticon, Under the Dice, and Nova. So I'm really excited about all that. Hopefully, I might do some. I know I'm going to do some RPG sessions at Adepticon for certain. I don't know. I might do a class on sculpting. If not, I might sit in and be a helper for other people if they are. I know a couple of my boys are doing sculpting classes. The plan this year was to do that with Nick, Learn Synthesis. He had a sculpting class that he was going to do, and I was going to sit in and be his helper. And then also, and I can't stress enough, that was such a, I enjoy a good strategy and tactics. Hell yeah. I love tactics games. I love games that, like, tactics are rewarded, like being tactical, as opposed to just like, I want to play to win. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The initial idea with Modern Synthesist was after he hurt his foot and he wasn't able to go, I was just like, dude, we need to do RedWetSkeleton Tatooine, which was going to be me wearing a mask and wearing headphones while Nick talked, and I was going to be his helping hand, like Ratatouille. And it started as a joke, and then it just kept building and building. And we were both like, "That's actually, it's an amazing idea." But Adepticon was not down, and I realized that they have so much stuff on their plate. But whenever he was like, "I can't go," they instead went and chose like 3 different people and like had issues getting all of them, and they ended up not doing it. To my knowledge, I don't remember if he found someone to or not, but he was just like, I already found a guy. I found the guy that I want to do my class. Let me use him. And they're like, no, instead we'll pick someone that doesn't have the same kind of sculpting or techniques or anything like in common. And he's just like, this is not what I want. I want to do the Ratatouille thing. We all did. Maybe next year. Well, hopefully next year. I'll do something Ratatouille style. Don't you worry. I feel like it would be fun. I feel like I can follow the right as far as sculpting. Like Nick is the one that inspired me to start sculpting years ago, which I'd sculpted before, but not like for my models. Like not the. I'd done a little bit of green stuff, like filling and that kind of a thing. But as far as I could go all out. Like what if it's just in my head and I need to do the thing, and that's pretty much what it was. So it was wonderful developing a friendship with him. Over the years, he's great. Love that guy. And it was even more wonderful getting to meet last November at Visterion. I met so many people. I just cried the whole weekend. Happy cry, not sad cry. Just to specify. Yeah. All right. I'm. Oh, nope. In there. In the hole. Getting old. Isn't it? Get down in there. Sculpt a rat while someone sits on your head. What are the rat people from Warhammer? Oh, Skaven. Ah, yeah. Man. I could sculpt a cat while a cat sat on my head. Catatouille. Margaretouille. Jumbo. Jumbo Tooie. Banjo Kazooie. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to stop here in just a second. I just wanted to try to use the rest of this epoxy sculpt. But I think I'm pretty much good on the head, so the rest of that's probably going to go on this body. Need to push that in so we can see it through the hole. But that's not really the most necessary. Is the jester hat made of wood? Yes. So it is made from, barring a DEFCON, you will for sure see me at Under the Dice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, I'm very excited. The jester hat is made from cholla wood, which I've already put up. But cholla wood, C-H-O-L-L-A, is this really strange wood. Hey, here it is. Here's some. This is cholla wood. So this is very key to the design language of the demons that I make. And it most of them, not all of them, the Paramour does not. The Paramour is a whole different kind of thing and story. Pretty much, the easiest way to explain it, it's almost like I was trying to find a way to make horns, but also I wanted them to be extremely organic and bizarre at the same time. And cholla wood is something that a friend gave me for one of my shrimp tanks. And after looking at it and being like, it looks too alien and too unnatural. It looks natural, but unnaturally natural, if that makes sense. It would not be good for the kind of aquariums that I like to make, which are very much biotypes, or biotopes. I like to recreate existing places in a box and give like the perfect natural environment for things. That I've always loved that kind of concept. And with shrimp really like cholla wood because it provides tannins for the water, which makes it slightly more base, I believe. I don't remember. It changes the pH, so it alters pH slightly, making it softer. Yeah, that would be more. No, it'd be more acidic. Makes it a little bit more acidic, which they like. That's key to their little lives. And then it provides a whole bunch of little spaces for them to crawl in. And detritus, which is what they're detrivores, so they eat just anything pretty much. It allows a lot of like surface area for stuff to accrue that shrimp eat, as well as providing breeding grounds, that kind of stuff. It's a very good thing to put in your tank. It just doesn't look natural in there. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And then after looking at it, I was like, I bet if I broke that at jagged areas with no clear defined part on mine, like, so what I do is it comes, I'll grab one. I'll grab a stick. Let me grab a stick. I'll grab a stick of cholla, just to show it. But it looks like a churro. Looks like a churro. Looks really phenomenal. That gives me very specific inspiration for my fancy. Oh yeah, wonderful. Glad to help. Thank you. It's unique. It definitely has become a defining part of my style, especially my demons. My style has always been, heavily influenced by adding things that are not plastic, and doing like a lot of detailing, guitar strings, all that kind of stuff all over my desk. Trash, love using trash, beads. But cholla wood, I think, is really the biggest thing that made. I'll grab the child. We haven't seen that kitty in a while. Grab the child. Really is one of the things that made the child inverted so unique and different, I think, was the cholla wood. It adds such organic, nightmarish shapes, and the insides. So it's very hard to capture correctly with lighting. but the insides of a lot of the cholla wood were painted in, what is the black that I love? Push this over here. Moosewood black. Love Moosewood black. It is one of my absolute favorite paints on the planet. I love it. It's my favorite for adding something insane. That is my favorite, like, blackest black. And that is what is on the gate. So when, like, looked at from, like, the right angles and whatnot, the gate looks like a void, a hole. The inside of the mouth was painted with Moosewood black. The stomach, so it's just like, it naturally takes shadows and makes them insanely deep. And then taking other black, which is like not as black, and putting it around there even furthers that. So the most intense example is probably, it's when it's in small quantities, and that's like the one that I made for Tim, the one that's not done. But Tim's piece is the very first one that I ever messed with it, and that's what sold me on it. The eyes. The eyes on this piece absolutely look like it's supposed to, where it's just depthless. There is just, it makes your eyes work in a different kind of way. And that was such a key part to making all the demons, because I made them in secret. People did not know they were going to be at the event. They thought that it was just a whole bunch of little gangs fighting. They did not have any idea that there was a massive, you know, demigod slowly growing and feeding off of the Shrine World's faith. And when they finally light this, the match, and try to start this beacon, it's enough psychic energy to give enough power to it that it can come forth and try to start manifesting itself. So that was pretty much the end event. The end day was the beacon, the lighthouse, the big game where everybody is playing on this, essentially three boards, and then a giant lighthouse board that Johnny built, which there's definitely pictures out there and footage. They filmed in a good chunk of the event for the Grim in the Dark documentary, which I'm very, very excited to see. That should be out soon. Shout out to my boy Cody. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna stop here. It's 10:20. Yeah, no, thank you so much, Karok, for the enjoying it, and for joining us. So Possum, Karok, I know Fune, and Max. Everyone who got on, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, keeping me company while working on Grief. I'm gonna do wonderful. No, I love talking about it. This is my absolute passion. I love this stuff. So being able to share it with people is the best thing in the world. Like, yeah, that's just it. I love doing this stuff. It's literally who I am. I can't not do it. So finally finding people to appreciate that, and not be afraid to like share it with them is one of the best things ever. And I just want to continue trying to give back to the community what they've given me. So again, thank you guys so much. I'm just going to work on Grief, like on stream, because I really want to show everything involved in making one of these things. I don't want to do anything like behind the scenes with this. So from here, I'm going to go get to work on a commission. And hopefully, I think I can get that one almost done today, if not done today. But it's going to be really good. It's probably my favorite model I've ever made, just to be honest. It's so detailed, and I can't wait to show it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Be good to yourselves and to each other. Take care. Sit pretty. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye, friends.